Good evening, everyone. Happy new month. We're in the month of October. This is the first Friday of the month of October. Rather exciting. I hope all of us actually had a good Independence Day, though it was really pouring on that day everywhere. So the rain forced everyone to stay home. But for those of us who had events, we still had to go out. But it was still an amazing day. This is Dami Vera Cruz with you on the show today, on the Good Citizen Radio Show. Unfortunately, Bekeme couldn't be here today because she had some international speaking engagements. So will be with me today, and we have a special guest, but we'll introduce a special guest later on this evening. This is the Good Citizen Radio Show again, produced by CSR in Action and sponsored by ACT, Aspire Coronation Trust Foundation. Aspire Coronation Trust Foundation is a grant-making organization established in 2016 to support local, national, and regional non-profit organizations working in health, environment, entrepreneurship, and leadership to address various challenges across the African continent. And also, why they're sponsoring this show? They're sponsoring the show because they believe in our ideas actually to function as a leader, to take hold of what it is to be a Nigerian citizen and to be a good citizen in Nigeria. And you also can actually be part of a grantee, an ACT Foundation grantee. They have officially opened their 2020 call for proposals. So if you have any ideas that you feel you're changing and making a social impact in any of these areas in health, environment, entrepreneurship, and leadership, you can visit their website on www.actrustfoundation.org. That is www.actrustfoundation.org. So today, the topic for today is going to be very interesting. Even when I first saw this, it was a very interesting topic, really. Very little people know about this, but it actually is a very, very important topic to discuss. And we are talking about neonatal awareness, that is care and safety of the newborns. That yes, newborn babies are around. Everybody when the baby is born, it's like, oh my God, he's so cute, she's so cute, but no one knows what went on in the labor room. Or nobody knows what happened afterwards. But they only see the beauty at the end of it. But the trauma and every other thing that goes on behind the room is always very daunting. And if you cannot face it, please do not enter. If you are married and you cannot face when your wife is giving birth, don't go there before you faint on your wife. Right? All right. So September was recently launched as a month dedicated to Neonatal Intensive Care Awareness, with the aim to raise awareness of how the stresses and strains of having a baby in the neonatal intensive care unit, that's the NICU, can affect not just the well-being of parents, but also the extended family. The life of a parent on the neonatal unit can be quite rough. Every family hopes for an uncomplicated birth, trust me. Every family hopes for that, but sometimes unexpected happens. And neonates, as well as their families, face a difficult start to life, which can lead to long-term impacts, both physically and emotionally. A recent survey shows that 79% of parents felt their mental health had been affected by their neonatal journey. Wow, yeah, that's a very interesting statistics. And I'm not even surprised, really, because I can imagine that the stress that goes on in there, it's very we watch movies and we can see, I've never been in one. I know I'll have to be one later. But you see movies and you see that it's always so intense in there, especially for the woman who has to go through all the pain and sometimes complications. You just all of a sudden hear a doctor, we have to do a CS. And you just be like, but I was fine, but you never can tell. And it's on record that more than 500,000 babies are admitted into neonatal intensive care units every year. Expert notes that neonatal jaundice remains a leading cause of preventable brain damage, mental handicap, physical challenges, and early death amongst infants. In Nigeria, the high mortality rate from neonatal jaundice is made worse by poor understanding of common neonatal problems by the general populace, leading to dangerous delays and complications. So to improve neonatal awareness, especially in Nigeria, it's a concerted effort. A concerted effort is required to provide specialized care for neonates. And tonight, so that's what we're focusing on. And we actually have a special guest with us today. But before I introduce that guest, we'll actually go on a very short break. And when we come back, we'll introduce our very special guest.
Are you a non-profit or social enterprise making a difference? ACT Foundation is providing funding and support to impact-based organizations across Africa. Over the last 3 years, we have supported 49 organizations who have gone on to impact over 200,000 lives, and we want to support even more amazing work. To apply for the 2020 grant cycle, submit the online application at actrustfoundation.org. You'll need to 1. Be a registered African non-profit organization, community-based organization, or social enterprise. 2. Have been in operation for a minimum of 2 years. 3. Have projects or initiatives in health, entrepreneurship, environment, or leadership. Together, we can build sustainable societies and create effective social impact solutions.
Hello, and we are back to the Good Citizen Radio Show. The Good Citizen Radio Show is proudly produced by CSR in Action and sponsored by Aspire Coronation Trust Foundation. And if you're just joining in, my name again is Dami Vera Cruz, and I'll be your host for this evening. Right, so let's get into it. So I'm going to introduce a special guest for you, or to you rather. Her name is Abisola Tolu-Odutola, and she is the founder and CEO of MomSpring, a tech startup that provides safe space for women to transition into mothers. By providing stage-relevant wellness, information, and guidance, Abisola seeks to change the narrative around pregnancy, motherhood, and she believes that motherhood isn't just an adventure. It should be a wonderful experience, and I definitely agree with that. Abisola is committed to lowering Africa's high mortality. She is doing this by donating a portion of profits, equity from her company to the MomSpring Foundation, which provides sterilized birthing kits and aims to build NICUs, newborn intensive care units in Nigeria. But when she's not taking steps with MomSpring towards pursuing her beliefs, Abisola is either traveling, shopping, or treating herself to a full day at her favorite spa. She will have to give me some tips about that place. She loves all things rose gold and unicorns because life is beautiful when we can dream. So hello, Abisola.
Hello, good evening.
Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. So just a quick one. Tell us briefly about MomSpring Foundation.
So the MomSpring Foundation was founded out of personal experience, actually. So when I had my second child, she was born into a neonatal ICU because when she was born, she wasn't breathing.
Wow.
So she had to be on an oxygen machine.
Wow.
And she had to be on, basically, like, we had to feed her through feeding tubes. I wasn't allowed to breastfeed because she could not breathe on her own. It was a very scary experience because I couldn't even tell if she was going to make it or not. Her skin, when she came out, her skin was pale. So it was almost as if there was no blood flowing.
Wow.
So after going through that experience, I mean, in the neonatal ICU, there were so many specialists checking on her, checking everything and making sure that everything was working. They basically knew that I just had the baby. They basically ignored me and put all the attention on her. But because of all that attention she got, she was able to come out of it. Now she's 3 and she's the boss of the house. So she's she's a big kid. So we all follow her leadership in the house.
Right.
And after going through that experience back in 2016, I started researching about, NICUs, neonatal ICUs, and I now started realizing that there was a big problem in Nigeria. So Nigeria happens to be the country with the highest rate of neonatal death in all of Africa.
Wow.
So 20% of all the women who die in pregnancy die in Nigeria. So in the world, 1 out of every 5 women who dies in pregnancy is a Nigerian woman.
Wow.
So there's a big, 20%.
Wow.
So there's a big issue around maternal health and neonatal health, and there's a lot of attention required there. So that led to the Spring Foundation. We said, what can we do to change the narrative and to change the story about Nigeria? And part of it is there's some socioeconomic issues. So part of it is access to care.
Okay.
Also part of it is even in the larger hospitals is also availability of incubators. So when you're in a neonatal ICU, one of the equipment you need is an incubator, which basically provides extra care to the child during that period. And you hear of hospitals that are supposed to be private not having enough incubators for the babies that are born on a certain night. So they now have to choose between one child and another who gets the care.
Wow.
And that's part of what's leading to some of these deaths. Every day in Nigeria, we lose over 520 babies under the age of 1 month. So just for definition purpose, a neonate is a child that is between 1 day old and 30 days old. So that very early stage.
Yeah.
Yes. So the children we are losing that are 520 a day are the children between 1 day old and 30 days old. Can you imagine? And 80% of those deaths are preventable.
Wow.
So that's what led to the Spring Foundation.
Okay.
Is to fight this issue.
That statistics is very, very scary.
Very scary. Exactly.
And I cannot imagine what the mothers or what the family will be going through at that time. I mean, you also experienced it, that fear of will she survive? Will she not?
Going through 9 months of pregnancy and then you're like, wait, do we have a child or do we not have a child?
And that is very, 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 very scary imagination. I can't begin to imagine it for any parent out there to face such trauma.
I wouldn't wish it on anyone.
I wouldn't actually. I would wish I would wish that figure was like 0. I would wish. So
the World Health Organization says, because some of the deaths are not preventable. So for example, maybe there was a medical issue where the child had something that could not be cured. So they expect that at a baseline level, for every 1,000 births, they expect about 12 babies to die. But in Nigeria, we have about 32 babies dying for every 1,000 births. That's almost 3 times the rates that the World Health Organization expects.
Right. And a quick one. What do you think is the major cause? Is it non-awareness? Is it information? Is it training?
It's a combination of problems. So on one hand, it's awareness.
Okay.
So the mothers do need to inform themselves of what is normal during pregnancy, what tests they need to be taking, so they can ask their doctors these questions, because our healthcare system is a bit overwhelmed. There's not that many doctors for the number of patients seeking attention. So we need to support the health system as individuals by knowing, okay, this is what is normal, this is what is abnormal during pregnancy, so I can ask the right questions of my doctor and they can do further analysis. On the other hand, there's also a socioeconomic factor where some women can't even afford antenatal care.
Wow.
So that's what even led to the kits that we give, because many of these women, if they're having their babies at home or at a local clinic or with a traditional birth attendant, they need to have a kit that they can use. But if they can't even afford to buy the kits, then they're likely going to be having the babies on the bare floor and using just utensils in the house to cut the cord, and that's what leads to infection, which can lead to sepsis. And a woman who can't even afford to go to the hospital cannot take the child to be cured for sepsis, and that leads to death. So that's one of the reasons. Sepsis is one of the top 3 reasons why babies die, and that's why we give out the birth kits to women in need.
Okay, or can you describe what a typical NICU environment looks like?
So an NICU is a very sterile environment. Even the mother, if she wants to visit the child there, has to wash her hands, has to sterilize. Many times you can't even touch the child with your bare hands. You usually have to put your hand into the incubator, into like a glove, and then hold the child with the gloves, because the child is in a so the children who end up in NICUs are either maybe born premature, or like my daughter, born not breathing, or they went through a lot of trauma during the delivery, so they need extra support so that they can now survive on their own. So it's a very sterile environment. You need incubators, phototherapy units, which help with jaundice. A top of the line NICU should also have oxygen as well, because in case a child cannot breathe, you want to be able to support the child with breathing. So it's really about having this equipment such that you can support those children during that vulnerable period where they just need that extra medical attention and support. So it's having facilities. It's also having these specialists that can handle this very delicate nature. This newborn. Yeah, you need specialists because you have neonatal nurses that specialize in that care during that period.
Right. So basically, I'm thinking that if with our own situation of not enough doctors, not enough hands on deck,
and that's part of what is affecting the situation with the newborns. And so what we can do there is opportunity for partnership, right? So we can partner with international organizations to train people locally. We can work with midwives. There's a lot of women who are not part of the traditional healthcare system like a hospital, but these are midwives who go to these women's homes and help them through their pregnancy. And so what we also do is partner with some of these midwives, train them to ensure that when these women need the help is available to them. But now, to do this at scale is where technology comes in, because there will be a woman right now somewhere, even in Lagos, having a child in her house, potentially needing help, and who can she call? Exactly. So that's where technology needs to come in, so that such that we can create a system where these women can maybe send a text message and get a local midwife to come and attend to them, but either at a price that they can either afford or that is potentially subsidized.
Right. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So right now, I'll actually officially open up the lines for calling. If you have any questions, if you know anybody that is pregnant and will be giving birth in the next 1 month or 2 weeks, you can call now so you can have all the information you have. The number to call is 0700 923 923 923. That is 0700 923 923 923. So the phone lines are open. So, Abisola, we have a caller.
Hello, Dami. Good evening.
Hello, good evening, Ndidi.
Doctor, good evening.
Good evening. How is everything?
I'm fine, and you?
I am very well, thank you. Thank you for calling this evening.
This topic, if you notice, my voice is kind of low because it's reminding me of a bad experience.
Wow.
Concerning my niece.
Wow. Wow.
Yes. She was born in one of the best hospitals in Abuja. If I mention the name of the hospital, I don't know if I'm allowed to do that.
No, it's okay.
It's a government hospital.
No, it's all right.
Okay.
No, you can't.
It's a government hospital.
Okay.
The mother attended antenatal as required at the same hospital. She delivered at that hospital, one of the best hospitals, government hospitals in Abuja. And she delivered particularly the next day, they discharged her.
Wow.
Without observing baby very well. She took the baby home, the baby girl. The baby wasn't like eating 1 day, 2 days. You know, a young mom now, she didn't know what was happening. They took the child back to the hospital. Then they discovered that the child had jaundice. Why didn't they discover it initially? The excuse was that the baby was big. And did not open, the baby didn't open her eyes, I can imagine. So they weren't able to examine the eyes. Can you just imagine that kind of a thing?
That's so silly. And that's
we
very
had to go through it. In short, it was a horrible experience. Blood donation every now and then. It affected her spinal cord. Wow. At age 5, she couldn't walk. Her head was like not stable.
Wow.
Did you know that, Dami? This child died. They did to my birthday.
Wow.
And she had to be buried on my birthday.
Wow.
Can I ever forget that? Because of the carelessness of the nurses and the doctors in the hospital. I had to lose my beautiful niece.
Wow.
It's not a good thing to remember at all.
It's not. Definitely not.
Thank you very much, Dami.
Thank you. So sorry about that. That That is.
I mean, so this is basically the situation. And it's also because our healthcare system is a bit overwhelmed. And I can't imagine the volume of babies that are being born in the hospitals every day.
Yeah.
And but there's tests that can be taken from a newborn. Every newborn should really be. We should maybe even have a policy that says every newborn should be tested. They're supposed to test for something called bile, which shows the level of bilirubin in the blood, which shows if the baby is flushing out waste fast enough. If the baby is flushing out waste fast enough, the baby is unlikely to have jaundice.
Okay.
But the baby is not. The baby is likely to have jaundice.
Right.
Yeah.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Sarah too, calling from Ogun.
Okay, Sarah too. Good evening.
Good evening. Well, I don't want to tell you about my mother's experience too. She had twins. And she was discharged 3 days later. So within those 3 days where the doctor was not supposed to examine both her and the babies.
Wow.
But it was after they went back home, they noticed the babies were not, behaving healthy or so. It was when they went back to the hospital, they found that they had jaundice. And they died a day before the naming ceremony.
Wow.
So you can imagine the pain.
This.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know what
This.
my mother said she still remembers the name of the doctor.
Wow.
Till today.
That
To
is.
show you how painful it is.
That is. This. Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. This is like I don't want it to become a trend.
So it's very rampant. It's not spoken about, so people don't know that it's happening. But the reality is that with jaundice, if it was discovered on time, if a phototherapy unit. So my firstborn actually was diagnosed as potentially having jaundice, and she was on the phototherapy unit for about 24 hours, and that was the end. And we never saw any issues. It didn't become it. So it's basically UV lights shown on a child. Or if you don't even have that technology, you can put the child near the sun. And it will leave their body. So it's that simple. But the reality is, if the parents does not know, they would not know to do that.
Right.
And then,
Yeah, so that will actually bring me to my next question. We say, what form of attention should parents give their newborns immediately after birth?
Immediately after birth, so with things like jaundice, the best way to find out is a blood test. But if that's not possible, also looking at the eye, if it starts to yellow, if the skin is getting very yellow, there's also a potential, there's a situation of jaundice. So they can follow up with medical care. Another thing is, this is the digital age, so people can get information, right? So one of the things that we've done at Momspring is we recently created an app for pregnant women and newborns, so that way you know what to look out for, you know what to expect, you know what's abnormal, so you know what to ask your doctor, because we know that our health system is overwhelmed and there's still work that's being done there. But in the interim, we're arming parents with the information they need so that they can ask the right questions and take care of their newborn. Okay,
so quick one. So for those of us listening, wanna-be mothers out there, if you know someone who is pregnant, please, where can we find out? Is it in Play Store or the App Store?
So right tonight it's on the Play Store and it will be in the App Store in about 10 days.
Okay.
And then, if they want to get it on, if you want to find out on the website, it's www.momspring.app.
Okay, and if they need
basically
it's
a free app.
Okay,
it's a free app.
If they need to reach out to Momspring, is there a phone number and website? What's the website?
Yeah, so you can do hello@momspring.com or our website is momspring.app.
Okay.
But for the foundation, the website is momspring.org.
Okay, that is very honestly, thank you so much for all your comments. It's been a very revealing, very, very, very revealing time, really. Unfortunately, as much as I always want to just keep going, right? Time is going already. I'm not even sure if giving pizzas to some of our guests today seems very interesting. To our callers, because after the experience, it's not something you should be celebrating. We'll definitely have to share some pizza with some of our callers. So if you just send a number, if you send the last 4 digits of your number to 0906-263-4111. That is 0906-263-4111. That is Saratu and Indidi. We definitely get your pizzas. So just give a call or send a text message. And actually, just to on that, while we're on that pizza topic, right? So Domino's Pizza have their latest creation. The sweet, smoky, lip-smacking barbecue burst pizza. With every bite, there's a barbecue. It's there. You will not miss it. We can guarantee you a treat the moment you have that barbecue burst pizza in your hands. And lucky enough, our guest is having one this night.
Ooh.
Yes. Even me, if I am going to buy my own. It's actually, if you just visit their website, dominos.ng, or you can actually call in on any of the stores nearest to you, and you can get this marvelous, I'm already salivating at the thought of it, this lovely, lovely, lovely barbecue post pizza at any of the Domino's store, or visit dominos.ng. All right, and actually, here's the best part. Actually, you get 2 free Cokes to every mouth-watering barbecue burst pizza you order. So now, all of you that have your phone, order it now. Go there. If you're on your laptop, do it now. Right. So again, thank you so much, Abisola, for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for revealing all this and trying to help all the mothers and potential mothers out there. It's very helpful to know that you're part of people trying to reduce the neonatal mortality rate in Nigeria. And you can all keep the feedback coming on Good Citizen NG on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That is at Good Citizen NG. You can listen or you can catch up on this episode again on SoundCloud. Just search for The Good Citizen Show, or on YouTube. We now have our videos on YouTube. You can just search for The Good Citizen Radio Show on YouTube. So let us know how you're doing. Please visit our website, goodcitizens.ng.com. And you can just go to the tab of the radio show and you can just fill in our survey. Let us know what we need to do better. So I'm your host for today, Dami Vera Cruz. Thank you so much for listening today. And you can listen again next week, Friday at 8 p.m. on Inspiration 92.3 FM. And a massive thank you to our partners, Inspiration FM and Domino's Pizza. It's exciting. Actually, I get to eat pizza every week. Oh,
good luck.
The joy, right? So thank you so much. And our sponsors, ACT Trust Foundation, Aspire Coronation Trust Foundation. Remember, you can apply for the grant. Just visit their website, www.actrustfoundation.org. Thank you so much for listening today, everyone, and have a lovely, lovely weekend. Good night.